Team of the season is coming, and it's time to predict who could be featuring in the first Team of the Season squad. As most of us know, the most consistent side is community voted, so we are basing these predictions off the votes that we've seen on social media. So to kick things off, we've got David De Gea, and honestly, it was hard to find teams that didn't feature De Gea in. A lot of people seem to be voting for him. The Man United goalkeeper has kept 13 clean sheets in the 29 Premier League games that he's featured in so far this season, and has a pretty good save rate of 2.7 saves per game. It is worth noting we do expect to see a lot of Premier League players in the community team this season, just with the league being so popular, not just in FIFA but obviously around the world. Anyway, we move on to James Tavernier. The Rangers fullback seems to get a very good looking special card every single year, and this year looks to be no different. This card looks outstanding. It looks like one of them items that potentially could play anywhere, and when you look at his stats, you would think that he's played anywhere, to be honest. 15 goals, 6 assists, and also 11 clean sheets registered as a fullback in the 31 games he's played. Pretty good record. It is worth noting he does take set pieces for Rangers, so if you're wondering where a lot of these goals come from for Tavernier, like I've said, he does take set pieces, but it is also worth noting he does score from open play as well. Nonetheless, awesome card, hopefully won't be too expensive, and definitely one to look forward to for Rangers fans. Napoli have been absolutely outstanding this past season, and I definitely expect to see a bunch of players from Napoli in the Serie A team of the season, but they could have one or two in the community team of the season as well. We've got Kim Min-jae, who has been class at the back for the team, and yeah, this card, it's going to be pretty good, especially in the pace department, so potentially one to watch out for right here. Another Serie A option follows on. We've got Danilo, the Brazilian, who's converted to a bit of a centre-back role as of late. Obviously, previously in his career, did start off as a right-back, but is playing a more central role now. And yeah, this is another one of them items that's going to be absolutely spectacular if it does happen. One of them cards that you can pretty much play in any defensive role as well. You could use him as a fullback, you could use him as a centre-back, you could even use him as a CDM if you really wanted to. Have to mention those 17 clean sheets though, that is a ridiculously impressive number. The second Premier League player to feature in this video is going to be Liverpool's Andy Robertson, who just like David De Gea seemed to feature in pretty much every vote that we saw on social media. Literally 95% of the squads we saw featured David De Gea and Andy Robertson, so we'll be very surprised if those two don't feature in the community team this season official release. And now we come on to yet another Premier League player in the form of Manchester City's Bernardo Silva. Man City obviously having another strong season, and Bernardo Silva's actually had a very good year, playing in a bunch of different roles actually. He has actually featured at left back this season, which, you know, might come as a surprise to some people. But yeah, we do expect him to be included, and we do expect some incredible dribble attributes on that item. Earlier in the year, Thuram got himself a Future Stars item, and it was a really good card. If you've used it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Really, really good in game, and it looks like he could be getting a team of the season item in the coming weeks, and I do expect this card to be absolutely outstanding in game. Speaking of items who should be absolutely outstanding in game, we've got Benacer, who I think you'll all remember how good his Road to the Knockouts item was when it originally dropped. Obviously very recently he's also had that Fantasy Foot item too, and now he could be getting another special item, and we do expect him to do so. And now we come on to what is for me the main player in the community team of the season release. It is Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus, who has been absolutely outstanding for the Gunners this season. Yes, we're all fully aware he's had his injuries and he has missed a few games, but the impact he's had on Arsenal has been absolutely incredible. 8 goals and 5 assists in the games that he has played in the Premier League. He's had an impact both on and off the pitch, and I'm hoping that he gets a really, really nice blue item in the coming weeks. From one Brazilian to another, next up we have Real Madrid's Rodrigo, who has found the back of the net 5 times and picked up 7 assists so far this season for Madrid, and it's another one that just seems so obvious. He's going to get in, he's Brazilian, he plays for Real Madrid, he's good in game, and yeah, I expect this card to be very expensive when it is released. Now on to the bench. We're going to start off with Ramos of Benfica. 17 goals and 2 assists for him. Pretty good return. He's one of them that if he doesn't feature in the community team of the season, he will get a blue card further along the line in one of the other team of the season releases. Now the secondary goalkeeper option is actually a bit of a tough one. We're expecting it to be quite close between Lafon and Jan Sommer, but ultimately we're going to go with Lafon because obviously a lot of people do have French themed teams in Ultimate Team. Nathan Ake has been outstanding for Man City this year, playing that centre back / left back role for them, so who knows which position EA will put it in, but hopefully he can play both. And yeah, once again, Premier League player, we do expect him to be included. Otamendi could feature, and that would actually be a really nice item. He got a good looking objective card earlier in the year, but it just didn't end up featuring in many people's squads. I think most people put it into an SBC. Maybe his team of the season item would get a bit more game time. I mentioned earlier in the video that Napoli definitely do deserve to have multiple players in the upcoming team of the season promo, and like I touched on previously as well, we do expect to see a lot of Napoli players in the Serie A team of the season. Along with Kim Min-jae, Zielinski could feature in the community team of the season, and this would be another card that could be pretty outstanding. Should be a very, very pacey midfield option. It's been a while since Koeman's had a team of the season item, although in my head he seemingly gets one every year, but that's factually incorrect. He hasn't had a blue since FIFA 21. Anyway, so far this season he's featured in not actually too many games, just 18, but he has had an impact with 6 goals and 4 assists. Alexis Sanchez has an incredible looking fantasy foot item within FIFA 23 already, and in a couple of weeks that card might be semi-pointless because he could be getting a team of the season card. He's another one, and I know I've said it a lot in this video, but he's another one that we have seen in most people's squads, so it's looking like a likely one to happen, and this card, in theory at least, should be absolutely outstanding, especially considering it should be just, you know, a bit of an upgrade versus that fantasy foot card. It's going to be pretty crazy. Hopefully EA also apply some weak foot or skill move upgrades as well. That would be really nice. And then we have Celtic's Jota, who has had an absolutely outstanding season for them. Like, look at that return he has produced this year. 11 goals, 10 assists in 29 games, absolutely incredible, and obviously there's still a bit of time for him to add to that record as well. In FIFA though, he already comes with 5-star skills, so this would just be a really nice item in game, and it shouldn't be too expensive either. So those are our predictions for the community team of the season squad. Now do bear in mind there obviously will be some SBC players, some objective players as well, so just because we haven't mentioned one of the 100 nominees does not mean that they're not going to actually happen, because as I say, there are other ways for them to come into the game. This is just our prediction of the squad. Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and do tell us which team of the season items you are most looking forward to trying out when the promo begins.